we're gonna do this back bumper right here. We're gonna do this because I was wrapping the front bumper of a Ford F-350 the other day, and some people are like, hey, great job. Some people are like, oh, so wrong technique. My gosh. I'll show you some bumper techniques. Just for anyone out there that's questioning, there's a few techniques. There's more than one technique. The main technique is understanding your vinyl and that you didn't overstretch it. That in and of itself will be the first and best technique. Then we'll go from there. What we got is this 3M. Hey, look at this. This is old school. 1080. So some older film. I'm gonna give you guys just an example, right? We're just gonna kind of screw around here a little bit. I'm gonna tack that on there. The big issue with a bumper, and you guys will see people, will be 2, 3, 4 people stretching on a bumper, right? Is as you come around like this, you end up having slack. This bumper rolls under. If we come at a 90, there's a whole bunch of excess material right in this area. So the key being is to get some good stretch in the beginning, pull all the way around, and then depending on where you want your suck up, I guess it would be, where we want to pull and suck in some of that vinyl so we don't have excess, is going to be dictated here on, do I pull upward a little bit? Do I pull downward if we're trying to get rid of some on the top of the bumper? Lots of different ways, lots of different methods. When you're just by yourself, you got to do this, and you got to try and get it looking as good as possible, with the main thing being no failures. Can you overstretch 100%? Will it fail? Chances are higher. So we're gonna try and stretch, and then we're gonna release that stretch, hoping that we have it set up right where it'll shrink onto the bumper at a happy medium between a little bit of stretch or almost no stretch. So we'll give her a shot here. I'm just gonna set this edge. Not gonna stress too much on it, but we're gonna just set this edge so that I have something solid as I start to pull, okay? I got a little bit of excess vinyl here. I got a lot of excess vinyl. So I'm gonna get rid of a little bit of this so it's not in my way. Top of the bumper, right here, that's before it goes into the plastic part. And I've got a whole bunch down low. Don't necessarily need that much, but depending on how much it rolls under, you might need that much. You are by yourself and you don't even have a bumper pull, right? And when I say bumper pull, it's just, I mean, you can cut a broomstick, right? And you just tack it along here so that as you pull, it's nice and flat. So you don't have that. We're just gonna go with the guy in his shop trying to do this, okay? What you're gonna wanna do is I have it tacked back there, and you just wanna warm this vinyl up, and you're gonna see little lines and whatnot. What I don't want it to be is crazy soupy. I just want a decent little flex, okay? So from here, I'm gonna pull it pretty tight, and then if you look, my left hand is farther in and pulling up, okay? And this is one man, right? So all these little things, we're not gonna worry about. I'm just gonna show one guy by himself. I pulled in because I took and I ate up a bunch of that excess down below, right? So from here, you're by yourself, nobody here to help you. I can heat this, and I can just let some of this relax in here. I just want to get to a point where I'm around the corner. Here we're just coming around. I'm just gonna do this real quick for you guys here. The famous thumb squeegee right there, baby. Look at that thing go. So I've got myself to the edge here. So the kicker here is this is what we're wanting to focus on. See this, how it rolls in and under. So we want to get around that. Well, you can tell this is old 1080. It's like working with aluminum foil. Now we want to get around this corner. So we're going to heat this. And I'm going to work it not in one big fail swoop. I'm just going to up and under. Tack. Come up top. And I want you guys to watch right here. This is, so the underneath right here, if you look, I can come back in, release that just a little bit. See how this sucks right up to it? This is my edge now, right underneath here. You see wrinkles? No wrinkles, right? This is that stretch. And then having it here and being able to let it relax. We still have this pull. We want this to be good. So this is what I did in that last video, similar. Is I just came back and I just wanted everything to relax. Now what some people were asking me about was like my little shimmy that I did, I guess. I don't know what I did exactly, but on the end of the vinyl, if it has a little bit of wrinkle or anything in it, I can go like this and just shimmy a little bit and get it where it's nice and flat. But my actual pull on the vinyl is minimal. So if you see, I'm not pulling tight, I just shimmy a little bit, just so it's taut, and it gets rid of a lot of the wrinkles, and I didn't even apply any heat. So I'm gonna come to the edge. Now this is the important part right here. So now that we had a nice pull, this is good and clean around here. We want to finish this off and we want to get around the edges and around this tip. And on these Toyotas, they have a big, long kind of forward slant. So I'm going to pull the front up a little bit and I just want to relax this. So I'm pulling downward slightly just so it's relaxed. Now I'm going to give a little bit forward. And this is where, like somebody was asking me, I shimmy a little bit right here. Okay, my pull, like if you see, is minimal. I'm not stretching the vinyl, I'm just keeping it just slightly taut so that it releases those little bits of wrinkles. Here on the bottom, if I heat that, and I go along here, we should, because we had a nice stretch, and then I let it relax, our vinyl is nice and straight. If I had a bunch of wrinkles here, we'd have issues. So that's good. Now we've got to go around the front, and this is the part that gets a little bit tough, is we've got to make sure that our pull is consistent and clean. So right off the bat, you'll see that this is clean. I have a little bit right here. So right there, I'm gonna adjust the pull of the vinyl just a little bit. I'm just slightly, and I'm not, this is barely pushing. And I'm just gonna bring it down to that corner. I'm gonna pin that corner so that now from here, it's clean, and it's clean all the way up. Now, with the way I just ran that, it all released and just relaxed. I'm gonna pull up because I don't want glue lines. I let it relax and I can just work this all the way down now, right to the edge. And from here, you can see my back side, I've got about 1/4, maybe 3/16 that it's got to go over on that back edge. If I had a bunch of tension, it would make going around this corner just a pain in the butt because you're going to want to, it's going to want to wrinkle on you all along here. There can be a little pull back and then just bring it back in and just let it relax around that edge. I can just feel it. I'm just doing it by hand here. We're not gonna go too nuts over there. Nice and clean. A little bit of tightness right there, but not bad. Not up on our edge. So now, let's say we're gonna take this, we're gonna do a empty face, right? There's nothing back here. So I'm just gonna cut right on that backside edge, okay? All the way down. And we'll just cut that right out there. This way everybody can see it. All right. So now we brought that up and around. We've brought it to here. One of the things that wasn't shown in that little snippet video was you'll see me after the fact, if you look at the YouTube video, I believe, or the short is on the reel, is I came along and I was going like this and just double checking my edge. It is so important, especially on a bumper, that once it's wrapped, once it's down, that you do a post heat. You don't need to worry about, you know, going nutso and post heat and all of this stuff as much as you need to make sure that all your edges, and then coming here underneath and making sure everything is good. And we're gonna get a picture. We're gonna come down low here. We're gonna show you the underside because that's gonna be the important part. If this all started to finger up, we know that we've got too much stretch, or we built up too much vinyl, tried to stretch it past it with heat, but it was overstretched. So as soon as you hit it with heat, it wants to shrink back, and so all of a sudden, boom, your fingers start showing up. So this is how I test my guys. I go around everything and I just heat it. And I just check it and make sure I don't feel anything. I mean, this is just smooth all the way along the back. There's no fine wrinkles along this edge. And I hit it with heat. So at this point, if we take and I cut just along the bumper, we go here. There's a little bit of a screw thing there. I'm not gonna mess with that. And we go like this. Oh yeah, that looks pretty. That looks good. Our goal was to tilt the vinyl. So we tilted a little bit with some pull, brought it through this direction. That way we got it tight here. And our main thing that we are going over today is how to get it tight around this back edge, have good consistent pull through, heat and relax the vinyl, and then it allowed it just to go right around this edge so we don't get any pull up or anything of the sort. So there's different methods. We can go, we should do a bumper pull one, we'll do a couple other ones, we'll do a 2, 3-man, 4-man. But by yourself, this is a great way to do it without having any failures. So hopefully that clears that up. There's lots of ways to do it. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Ho, ho, ho.